Did not.
Did too.
Did not.
Did too.
Number 20, Family Dog. Family Dog began as a well-received short from Brad Bird, who later directed animated classics like The Iron Giant and The Incredibles on the anthology series Amazing Stories. The show itself came years later, and it was, well, a dog.
I hate Sundays. I don't know why I bother, I really don't.
It follows a suburban family and their titular canine, Jonah, as they get into various shenanigans. But the family is deeply unlikable and needlessly cruel to each other and their dog, making for an animated sitcom that's more depressing than funny.
Skip, walk the dog.
Okay, God forbid I should have a moment's peace to read my paper.
CBS clearly didn't have much faith in it, airing it during the typically dead summer months and canceling it after only 10 episodes.
Oh my God, what happened?
Number 19, Yoy Yogi. Did you ever wonder what Yogi Bear would be like as a teenager and or a crime fighter? No, you probably didn't.
Next time, Cindy, let me do the figuring.
But somehow that didn't stop this ill-conceived update from getting the green light. This show depicts the famous Ursine picnic basket thief as a young detective, alongside other famous faces from the world of Hanna-Barbera.
Now that's what I call bad table manners.
From the theme song alone, the attempt to pander to youth culture is so blatant, it might as well be asking, how do you do, fellow kids? Audiences said no to Yoy Yogi, and really, can you blame them?
Yo Yogi! Let's go!
Number 18, Stressed Eric. It's one thing to have a protagonist on an animated sitcom have times of difficulty and overwhelm, but when it's their default mode, it's just not enjoyable.
Just remember, you've got to be calm today for Brian's sake. It's his day.
That's the case of Stressed Eric, about a frazzled middle-class London father trying and failing to keep it together. Though the show does manage to convey how anxiety manifests, watching more than a few minutes can feel suffocating without any greater purpose.
Alison told me you were at your mother's funeral.
Yes, right, the funeral.
And the titular Eric isn't the kind of lovable loser that makes us want to root for him. It's a feel-bad show that may appeal to very specific tastes, but which just leaves us feeling empty. Number 17. The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3. Super Mario Bros. 3 is considered to be one of the best video games of all time. This TV adaptation, loosely inspired by the aforementioned game, isn't considered to be one of the best anythings of all time.
Let go! I'll catch ya!
Nice catch, Mario.
Its predecessor, the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, was no masterpiece, and this one is even worse. Though it takes cues from the game, such as power-ups, that's not enough to make up for the shoddy animation, irritating characters, and overall lack of creative spark.
I'm the king here! I'll decide what land we're gonna take over! You're not taking over any land, you Bowser Koopa! What?
Mostly, it feels like a reminder of all the better things you could be doing with your time. Like, for instance, just playing the actual game.
Insist it was all my fault, brother!
Well, I insist it was all mine, brother!
Number 16. The Brothers Flub. 1999 saw the premiere of Futurama, an animated sitcom about a delivery crew exploring strange planets that soon became a beloved cult classic. It also saw the premiere of The Brothers Flub, which has a markedly similar premise with much worse execution.
Come on, everybody dreads laundry day, especially bad guys.
I see your point, but don't you think it's kind of icky to run around wearing dirty clothes?
Following a pair of alien brothers and couriers as they travel through the universe, it's the rare 90s Nickelodeon cartoon that seems to have inspired no nostalgia in anyone, except maybe memories of changing the channel minutes into an episode.
Did you hear something?
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Crass, loud, and generally unpleasant, the Brothers Flub could have just as easily been called the Brothers Flop.
Party's over! Get back to work!
Number 15. Wish Kid. You can probably make an educated guess about who voices the titular Wish Kid, Nick McClary, just by looking at him.
Just a minute.
I can be a real pilot.
The success of Home Alone led to an attempt at making Macaulay Culkin into a star in animated form as well, and it didn't exactly work out.
I wish I was principal. I wish I was principal. I wish I was principal.
The premise is that Nick has a magical baseball glove that can grant wishes once a week, which predictably backfire. The repetitive plot lines aren't helped by Culkin's clear lack of experience with voice acting.
Oh, Frankie, I just had to buy you a little something that reminded me of you.
A decade later, the Fairly OddParents took a similar premise to much better results. Number 14, Little Shop. Don't get us wrong, we absolutely love Little Shop of Horrors, both the original B movie and the musical adaptation. But it wouldn't be our first choice for an animated adaptation.
But who are you? Where are you from? How did you...
Would you butt out with the questions? I'm trying to be dormant here.
Little Shop takes the deliriously sinister premise of a people-eating Venus flytrap and tones it down considerably. Now, Junior is a companion to the young nerdy Seymour, and though he has some powers, he's much less carnivorous than he is in the live-action adaptations.
Don't just sit there like a piece of moss. Let's go to the grocery store.
We know that compromises need to be made with adapting things for kids, but Little Shop just feels like a generic cartoon, rather than the gleefully twisted horror comedy that inspired it.
Sounds pretty sappy to me.
Number 13, Prostars. Some athletes excel in their chosen sport so much, they're likened to superheroes.
Then gentlemen, there's only one thing to do. It's game time!
So it's easy to understand where the idea for a show depicting sports legends Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky, and Bo Jackson as a crime-fighting team, helping kids to be their best.
I'll tell you what, little slugger, if you ever do learn how to hit a curveball, you can teach me too.
Sure thing, pal.
Though it has some good intentions, it's hard to miss how much it's true to cash in on the fame of its real-life counterpoints, though Jordan himself rarely showed up for live-action segments. Call it a swing and a miss, a fumble, or an airball. Either way, it's just not good.
Don't worry, Mom.
Wayne can explain everything.
Me? Me?
Number 12. Pinky, Elmyra, and the Brain. Though many have fond memories of watching Tiny Toon Adventures and Pinky and the Brain, the nostalgia is not the same for this crossover.
Are we going to take over the world before or after a bathy-wathy?
Drat!
Bathy-wathy for the little mousies and their poopy smell.
Combining the worlds of hyperactive Elmyra Duff and the former lab mice, this show came from meddling studio executives trying to make the latter series more of a sitcom. The creators didn't hide their frustration with the situation, even referencing it in the theme song.
It's what the network wants. Why bother to complain?
The voice acting and animation are still on point, but why waste so much time and talent fixing something that was perfectly good as it was?
It's what the network wants. Why bother to complain? The earth remains a goal. Some things they can't control. They're Pinky, Elmyra, and the Brain.
I deeply resent this.
Number 11, Caillou. Caillou didn't dominate the 90s like he did the 2000s, but he was introduced in 1997, and many wished they had never gotten to know him. Based on a series of children's books, it's about the titular 4-year-old boy as he makes his way through the world. That's a fine premise in theory, but what bothers so many about this is how the titular character will act immaturely without being corrected.
I don't want to be late for the circus.
The circus? Oh no, Caillou, that's not today. The circus isn't till tomorrow.
No, it's today. I got all dressed. It's today.
This is not ideal for a show watched by impressionable children, and over the years, a strong backlash against Caillou has formed. While he's not always insufferable, it doesn't make up for the times when he is.
Caillou, why did you do that to Rosie?
I don't like Rosie.
Number 10, The Wacky World of Tex Avery. In what was meant to be a heartfelt tribute to the man behind numerous Looney Tunes, the ill-fated anthology series The Wacky World of Tex Avery instead turned out to be an awful Animaniacs-inspired travesty.
Welcome to the wacky wack wack wacky wacky wack wack. Welcome to the wacky world of Tex Avery.
Although featuring some of animation's best voice actors, such as Billy West, Maurice LaMarche, and Cree Summer, the show contained none of the iconic Looney Tunes characters Tex Avery turned into cultural icons, and focused on a lackluster and downright insulting caricature of the legendary animator himself.
I have just invented the dinosaur trap!
Airing for 65 episodes between 1997 and 1998, a full 17 years after Avery's death, we're just happy he wasn't around to witness it.
Thank you.
Don't mention it.
Number 9. The Mask Animated Series. Cashing in on Jim Carrey's successful turn as the green-faced anti-hero, the Mask animated series proved to be an inferior continuation of the 1994 box office smash.
That's a spicy meatball!
Following more along the lines of the gritty comic books that the film was based on, the absence of Carrey voicing the titular character left much to be desired. The animated series saw the clumsy Stanley Ipkiss take on a bevy of villains intent on taking over Edge City, including the Jason Voorhees-like Walter from the comics. Featuring the voice talents of Frank Welker, Jim Cummings, and Rob Paulson, the series ran for 3 seasons.
Superpowered mutants are destroying the city.
It wasn't anything special, but at least it was better than Son of the Mask. Number 8. Fish Police. While the 80s may have pioneered the genre of anthropomorphic creatures in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and DuckTales, the 1990s tried their best to up the ante, to a greater or lesser degree.
I said Inspector Gill, not inspect her gills. I'm a cop who's a carp.
Case in point, the hilariously absurd Fish Police. Running for only 1 season in 1992, and consisting of 6 episodes, Fish Police pulled out some big guns, literally, with depictions of street violence, mature themes, and a noir-inspired storyline.
You're the one who pulled the trigger, my dear. My tentacles are clean.
The show also featured some heavy talent with John Ritter and Tim Curry providing voice work. Needless to say, the show was eventually buried by CBS, but still received a small cult following.
Don't you know caffeine is bad for your health?
Damn, I hate risking my life for an unevolved species.
Number 7. Ace Ventura Pet Detective. By 1994, the likeness of Jim Carrey could not be escaped, especially after the smash hit Ace Ventura Pet Detective.
Go in there. Woo!
Sure enough, the marketing execs planned an entire animated series surrounding the over-the-top Private Eye's further adventures.
Spike, pack your down underwear.
The lack of Jim Carrey, much like The Mask, proved to be a source of disappointment in the series' embarrassing 3-season run, even seeing an unwanted crossover episode with The Mask in 1997.
Somebody stop us!
With humor more akin to the Ace Ventura sequel, When Nature Calls, the animated counterpart just didn't live up to the hype of the original film.
Alrighty then.
Number 6. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. There are some movies that just shouldn't even be considered for children's entertainment. A prime suspect in this case would be the abysmal and unnecessary cartoon adaptation of the ridiculous sequel to the 1970s cult B-movie, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, that aired on Fox Kids between 1990 and 1991. Taking place 5 years after the Great Tomato War of the first film, the animated series followed the exploits of Dr. Putrid T. Gangrene in his attempts to take over the world with homicidal tomatoes.
But I, using just 6 milk bottles and a tuning fork, have discovered how to drive tomatoes into a frenzy.
As much as it had the makings of a wacky series, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes only managed to fall flat after 21 episodes.
Wow! Major gross out.
Number 5. Hammerman. In the early 90s, MC Hammer could be seen virtually anywhere.
Isn't that sure looks like it?
That's that new KFC honey barbecue chicken.
It was only a matter of time before he got his own animated TV series. Airing for only 13 episodes in the fall of 1991, Hammerman had the unique distinction of actually having the iconic rapper star in the show, well, the live-action parts at least, with vocal duties being taken over by actor-screenwriter Clark Johnson, later of The Wire and Homicide: Life on the Street fame.
He was given magical shoes from a hip-hop Motown dude.
Hammerman proved to be a ridiculous cash-in attempt on Hammer's fame, with the titular superhero, along with the help of his living shoes, tackling various social issues in the fictional Oaktown.
The fire situation's been put to an end, but our overall problems have just begun.
Number 4. Mega Babies. with almost universally bad reviews. The gross-out humor of Mega Babies was definitely not the best choice Columbia, TriStar, and eventually Sony Entertainment banked on for success in the wake of Rugrats. Set in the uninspired Your City, USA, Mega Babies follows 3 superpowered infants who fend off giant robots and invading forces in disgustingly imaginative ways.
Come on, Chili, do your stuff.
Featuring plenty of disgusting jokes surrounding feces, snot, and other bodily fluids, Mega Babies sure did redefine the use of the term gag.
I'm as scared as a little baby.
However, that didn't stop the creators from giving us 52 mucus-filled episodes over 2 seasons in the late 90s.
Why the sourpuss, dollface?
Number 3, Dumb and Dumber. Jim Carrey again? Once again cashing in on the comedian's jarring fame, Hanna-Barbera's unfortunate animated take on the misadventures of Harry Dunn and Lloyd Christmas proved to be an understandable failure.
How about a railroad conductor?
Nah, I don't know how to read music.
Although future SpongeBob SquarePants stars Bill Fagerbach and Tom Kenny provided voice work on the Dumb and Dumber animated series, the child-friendly approach to the show clashed with the source material's adult-oriented toilet humor. We're just glad they never animated the movie's famed diarrhea scene for a child audience. Needless to say, 13 episodes was all we got, and didn't need.
Am I still in the lead?
Number 2, New Kids on the Block. Easily one of the hottest groups around in the late 80s, the New Kids on the Block ushered in the 90s with a forgettable cartoon series. Much like Hammerman, the New Kids on the Block show only featured the famous boy band in live action sequences, handing off the voice work to other actors for the animated portions.
Don't worry, guys, I got a plan. If it's anything like your last one, Joe, I'd rather get caught.
After a lackluster 15-episode season in 1990, ABC didn't renew New Kids on the Block for a second run, which let many cartoon enthusiasts heave a sigh of relief.
Where's Jonathan? This video's already behind schedule.
Featuring bad animation, lack of humor, and boring plot lines, the team of Jonathan, Jordan, Joey, Donnie, and Danny should have just stuck to the stage and off the screen.
Disaster!
Number 1, The Brothers Grunt. In one of the most bizarre cartoon series ever approved, even by MTV standards, the Brothers Grunt gave gross-out fans a run for their money. It followed a group of fraternal, underwear-clad, cheese-eating, walking, talking, boil-like humanoids grown off their creator's back that are in search of their lost brother.
Your brother, Barry, has escaped.
The premise alone makes for a nauseating experience, and that doesn't even factor in the various bodily fluids being splashed around everywhere. The less said about the series, the better. With a nearly unanimous negative reception, the horrific Canadian television series has never been officially re-released since its cancellation after 35 episodes in 1995.
Which of these animated series makes you cringe? Let us know in the comments.
Talk about a rush!
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.